Engage.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Winners Don't Use Drugs, episode 96, presented by Engage Gaming. I'm Darius, here with what percentage of Nolan?
Same as always, man. Whatever.
Hey, man, got to check in on you because, you had dropped one knee on us and stuff. I thought there was some sort of Scooby-Doo scrape happening in the stream. I thought maybe you was a little upset about your Honda's performance.
Scooby-Doo scrape. No, actually, I was a little upset because stuff kept not happening while I was playing, and I thought I was just tired and I was just missing inputs and stuff. Found out yesterday on stream that my stick is broke.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I knew it. You can go back and watch it and just see stuff. I couldn't do headbutts all of a sudden. Stuff. So my left and my up left inputs just decide to not work at times, and I was like, that's why stuff wasn't coming out, because I don't know if you can even hear me.
Same with mine.
I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah.
You got a backup, or you gotta get it fixed?
Well, that's the only one that works on the PS5. So and that's my.
What about the PC?
Sticker. I mean, it works on PC too. I mean, obviously that's what.
No, I'm talking about you don't have a stick that works on PC.
I have other sticks that work on PC. Yeah, but that's the one I like. So
there you go. Say that.
Yeah. So I either need to get in there and clean it or get a new thing.
It's just the directional inputs, though.
Yeah. Because if you go on the video, which should be up on YouTube now, I go into the command thing and you can see I roll the stick and you can see the up left. It skips it. It goes around, skips it. And I was like, God dang it, I knew it. That's what happened.
That little button check thing is really neat.
Yeah, it's helpful. But anyway.
Well, Zach, how are you doing?
I'm struggling because my inputs aren't going in. And
is your up left and your?
Yeah.
I mean, that's real important because you do SPD.
It's like my whole controller doesn't work.
Yeah. I feel you. That's what be happening too when I don't be getting my moves out with Blanca and stuff. It's, bro, I could do the men of RD, juggle you 6 times with,
it's a stick
Blanca
drift.
balls. It's just they got to fix the game. Really, I honestly I ain't want to say it. I know we've been trying to be so nice to the game. They got to fix it because I'm not getting my moves.
Yeah.
Every time I try and do an SPD, a level 2 comes out. That's because of the game.
Yeah. I'm not actually. That kind of is.
That kind of is because of the game.
Also, it's not cool. Charging us $15 a turtle.
Yeah.
I was gonna get them. I'm not.
Dude,
I'm not.
I can't do it on something that I don't play. I don't do World Tour, so
either Nick charged them like a lot of money for it, and they figured they need to make this money back, or they thought, well, most folks probably only want one anyway, and if they get all 4,
yeah,
let's get that money. But it's like, man, because I would have bought at least one, but I
think a costume for Battle Hub should only cost like $5,
like maximum. Yeah.
I'm starting to think that Capcom is a little high on their own supply. And I think the battle passes and the lack of costumes, which again I understand you have to work on them and things happened and the game did get pushed back. So
yeah,
I get all of that. And they've been really consistent on the actual, like Rashid came out, Aki's gonna be soon. Like they're releasing content, actual content for the game. Mm-hmm. But from the cosmetic side of the game, they are awful at this. They're just, they're terrible. The battle pass is garbage.
Yeah, I think it's 2 different sides. There's the developers of the fighting game, and then there's the folks doing the DLC and stuff for it. And they're probably upset at the guys. It's like, hey, where are the costumes? Where's this? We're trying to get more money out of this. And they're like, dude, we're having to make a game. Give us a minute.
Then they have somebody.
I think they dropped the ball because as big as this game is, like in the last month, like in the first month, they should have had some kind of costumes to sell.
At least one for everybody.
Yeah,
one more.
Yeah, because I think
because all those costumes actually came out with the game, right? You can unlock them during World Tour and stuff.
Yeah.
So they didn't have anything to.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I said before. I am kind of surprised they didn't come out with like a summer pack.
Dude, it's just the fact that I appreciate being able to unlock every costume, like the base costumes, right? The normal and the alternate.
Yeah.
great idea. Appreciate it. Means World Tour actually matters to us, something outside of World Tour. This is what we want from games in the first place. I want to be able to unlock things in the game. That being said, if you wanted to make money from skins, and I know you do, and they did make a decent bit from Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 from different costume packs and stuff.
Particularly 5.
Yeah, especially 5.
That's what kept 5 afloat.
Not having something around the launch month, and then even as you go into like the first, like, oh yeah, now you look at this crossover thing, and it's like, okay, you could have given some variation of the turtles to each, like, even if you were just gonna do 4 characters in the game,
you could have gave, like, I don't know, Jury or Kimberly or Chun-Li or Cammy, like an April skin.
Do some, like, just do an actual collaboration with them, and not just like, bro, Zach, if you would have got a Crane or a Bebop or Rocksteady skin for Zangief, no questions asked.
Oh, 100%.
Like
Bebop and Rocksteady for Zangief.
A JP
I'll take 2,
Shredder,
please.
Oh wow!
just any just give the skins to anybody.
JP probably do Splinter with the cane and everything.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
bro! Imagine being towed up by Rat Splinter, Rat JP online, just giving you. It's like, come on, man! It's a layup. It's right there. You could have given, like you said, April O'Neil to like Chun-Li or somebody. You could have gave Venus to Kimberly. Like it's there. It's right there for you.
Corral would be Jury.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Like there's a lot to pull from
Ken
that
is
license.
Casey Jones. Casey Jones is Ken or Ryu.
Casey Jones
Or Luke.
is Ken. Oh,
I was about to say Luke. Yeah, I think Luke would be the.
Bro, imagine getting took to Memphis by Casey Jones. Just see, like, we shouldn't be doing this for you. First of all, Capcom, we can't be just giving you the game because for some reason your brains is just not working.
yeah,
We're supposed to be doing
don't-
one for like Spy Family. Is that supposed to be the next one? That's the rumor.
Oh, I don't know.
That's allegedly the rumor for the next
Collab.
next collab, and it's like, okay, sure, but like,
And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the game has been great. It's just I think they've really fumbled the deal.
Like the extra,
The
which to me
extra-
is fine.
extra money.
I'd rather
Right.
them mess up on this than the game.
for sure. I'm saying
But-
more as like a business standpoint. They kind of fumbled this.
Yeah.
And I just wanted I wanted to see what they would do skin wise. Just looking at what they did with 5, I'm like, yo, they're gonna have some cool costumes for characters.
And 4. I mean, 4 had great costumes too.
It really did, yeah.
And we know the costumes are coming. It's just for like the main characters, but
It just seems really late.
the War Tour hub stuff is like
Like, and
Seems
that's
like they're
cool.
missing out on a big chunk because
Yeah.
there's going to be people that play the game for the first month and then don't touch it again, or there's going to be people that stop playing it once Mortal Kombat 1 comes out just because they prefer Mortal Kombat and the reason they're playing Street Fighter because it's the new thing.
Yeah. No, there's always going to be as we go through the rest of this year, there's going to be ups and downs for the game. Just that's just the way it works, right? Big tournament happens, probably going to see a little spike, you know what I'm saying, and it goes back and forth. But my thing for it was when you look at like from the tournament standpoint, like I liked seeing different people play with their version of the characters based on the skins. Like that's cool. Like, that's a cool visual. And we're not really getting that one because I don't know. I guess nobody's putting classic skins on the tournament setups.
If I'm Capcom, I'm on having giving like Evo, like, hey, here's the unlock for all of these.
That's what I thought we would
It'll
see.
work for at least the weekend. I don't know if there's a way they can make it time gated, but even if it's not, like, hey,
we probably just give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
I want people to pick these costumes and show them off. But
I mean, the way every time you cut on Street Fighter 5 and they kept telling you about the Capcom Pro Tour, you know, kept advertising, you want to do all that, but you can't give us no costumes. Come on, man.
I mean, Pro Tour just started, so
No, they messing up on these costumes.
literally just started.
But yeah,
But they knew it was gonna start.
They unfortunately have for the extra skins outside of the people that are only playing Street Fighter, they have a limited time. Mortal Kombat's what, a little month and a half away now, or no, it's about a month away.
About
now.
a month away. Yeah,
A month away.
Just a little over a month.
And then whatever happens, like going into the rest of the year, like I mean, we don't. I mean, I know Grand Blue is not really gonna take away from it, but
No, it'd be Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and then probably Project L.
yeah.
I don't know all the weebs who's playing Street Fighter might go over to Grand Blue.
I mean, they're gonna play Grand Blue, but it's not like they're gonna stop playing Street Fighter long term. Because
which Grand Blue's already the least, I always say, is the least anime fighting game I've ever played. It's more like Street Fighter than any other anime quote unquote game.
And the thing with this TMT, there's people like me. I don't touch World Tour, and when I play,
see, I do.
Right, I'm talking about people like me though.
Right, yeah.
There's a ton of people like me that don't touch World Tour.
not at all.
So the TMNT I love TMNT. It's my biggest favorite franchise ever. I'm not going to buy that stuff because it does nothing for me.
I'm not going to buy.
Because even when I play like Jonathan or you guys, we go straight to a custom room. I don't even go into the battle hub. Yeah. So it's completely pointless for me.
Yeah,
I think restricting something like that to just World Tour Avatar stuff, it's just a bad idea. Like, there's nothing wrong with having it on there. Like you said, like a $5 version for it or something like that. But if you want to charge $15 for, first of all, $15 for any single skin is just wild to me.
Yeah, that's like that was a bit
if it
much.
was just a $20 pack, which means
exactly.
everything was $5, I think you would have had a lot of people buy it just off the strength.
Yeah, I would have bought it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about them dropping the ball so much on that side of the game. It's like, bro, the decisions of what you're releasing, the pricing, like just all of it just seems, to your point, on like there has to be two different teams, because the team that's giving us Street Fighter 6 can't be the same group that's like, and let's do it like this, because it just seems so disconnected from what's making this game. Like, I really enjoyed World Tour, and I hope it's a mode that we keep seeing content for, but it's not what's going to keep the game like thriving.
I mean, I'm hoping it's like, it's kind of like the horse armor thing, the whole thing that started the whole DLC fiasco stuff. It was kind of like the first DLC, and it was also the first really bad DLC, because then they charged like $15 for that. Or was it $5?
I think it was $5. It was $5.
It was $5. I remember, because I remember we had the little stack of codes, and when somebody came in to pre-order the game, we hey, because I think it was, didn't you get it for free if you pre-ordered it, but you paid $5 after, or something? No,
that's
like
what it was, because they did that.
But
with a few
I remember it was
like
crazy,
that.
and I think I still have, like, because I remember we didn't hand out many of them because most folks didn't want it. So I still have them at home somewhere. I think I put them in the box with the game. But no, I think they priced themselves out a lot of sales.
Oh yeah, easily $15 for one skin.
Yeah, and to be fair too, again, we don't know what the deal was. It's like how much they had to pay to get it in there.
Right.
I mean, if you have to charge your customers $15 per skin, maybe the price of the brick was too high.
Yeah, I mean
and people like me, like I said, people like me, I like if it was $5 for a skin, I probably would have bought one.
$20, we would have knocked it out.
Yeah,
me personally, I might have bought a Donatello if it was $5, but for $15, I'm all right. And I don't even I would pay $5 and I don't even use that mode. So
right.
So just the fact that if you wanted to go into the mode, you'd have the skin.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it is cool to see them walking around, because I did go to Battle Hub on Saturday, I think, and I was like, that is pretty cool though.
Yeah, like they're not as elaborate as they could be, but they're also not.
But
bad
they're also
skins.
not bad.
They're not bad skins.
No.
They look fluid. They look clean.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, for $15 though, it just.
I fought a Donatello in an Avatar battle. Yeah. So.
But the actual, the first $1 million tournament for Street Fighter 6 just happened. Little different.
Mm-hmm. So that was what was it?
Saudi Invitational.
Yeah. Super 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw a little of it. Is it over?
I have no idea.
Because I know
it was.
What do you mean? Is it over? I thought the JP won.
Did he? Oh, okay. Was it Kakarai? Kakaru?
Kakaru, yeah.
Yeah, Kakaru.
So he won. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Because Mena got second.
No.
I don't know.
Angry Bird got second.
Hey, Mena got $500K for third.
No, he didn't get $500K because the guy in first place got $100K.
Why he said he got 500K? I guess he meant overall winners or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. I didn't know about it until Sunday morning, so yesterday morning. And then I saw somebody watching it, but I didn't really understand what was going on until last night, and I guess it was already over.
They were doing it like it was like group play into.
Yeah, so it was round robin, like all the way throughout, or just in the groups. In the groups,
yeah, round robin in the groups, and then
and like the top players went and played a bracket or something. Okay, yeah,
but hey, get that money, I guess.
Interesting. I need to go back and look at all that. I guess
a lot of them sponsors had tape over them.
Oh, first place got 400,000. Second place got 200,000. Third got 100,000. Fourth got 80,000, and then everybody else. I mean, they paid all the way to 16th, with 13 through 16 getting 5,000. It's not a bad payday.
No,
for sucking.
No. I mean, like just
how many people did they invite?
I mean, they invited.
Did everybody get paid?
Daigo was there, I know.
Yeah. Oh no, there was 32 people.
Oh, so some people didn't. I mean, but it was invitation only, so I'm assuming they got like travel.
They probably got flown out and everything. Yeah.
Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Mm-hmm.
You said Daigo was there?
Yeah, Daigo was there.
Daigo, I know Daigo was there.
Did he not make it out of group play?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I see him. Okay.
Kakaru, Knuckle Dew, because I only saw one match. It was Daigo versus Knuckle Dew. That's the only thing I saw of it.
Yeah, there's only 3 Americans.
Was it Punk?
Nephew and Knuckle Dew.
Punk, Nephew, and Punk. Okay.
I think Punk got 3rd, 4th. What did he get? I think he got 4th.
I have no idea, man. I didn't really watch it then. I watched like the last half of the grand finals, and that was it.
Yeah, the Kakaru's 32 parries in grand finals, 32 perfect parries.
Good Lord.
So that was the one thing that I was like, I was not necessarily happy, but I was like, I thought somebody might end up doing something like that in tournament play. It's just going on this like perfect parry streak, and a lot of people were like, yeah, so the damage scaling thing makes a lot of sense now, because they were like, some people had been apparently really, really adamant that perfect parries didn't need to be scaled. And then then he perfect parried 32 times, and they were like, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, now it makes sense, because it was exactly like me and you said. It's like, imagine somebody who learns how to do it every time.
Oh, I do not consistently.
No, but you do them. Yeah,
but you do fairly. Yeah.
And if I didn't have no scaling, I would just destroy people.
Yes. Yes.
Especially with SPD, because I can SPD out of it.
SPD out right out of it.
And that's what was happening. He was perfect parrying the what is it called, the Dragon Lash, where he flips over.
Yeah.
So he was perfect parrying that. And normally, you could just throw him out because it's a really good plus move. And every time he perfect parried, it was like, whoop, time to start the chain over. And then he would, try to get his way in. He was throwing Hadoukens and stuff, and he was perfect parrying those. And it was like, so he was not losing any meter. Like, he was at full overdrive pretty much the whole time. And then he would get in and he'd be like, nope, meter burn combo, not even burnout, and then start the process again.
Start over again. Yeah.
And it was just like what could you do?
Stop throwing stuff.
Well, yes.
But then you lose, so it's like, yeah.
Well, what I noticed when I like I said, I only watched like the second half of grand finals, but Angry Bird looked really predictable.
Yes.
Like, he kept on throwing that Dragon Lash kick out in a pretty predictable way.
Yes.
He probably thought that's all he could do.
Yeah, he just didn't. It didn't seem like he had any mid-game adjustments.
No. Yeah, that was the thing. Is the Ken thing right now is, they go from the super high of like, oh my God, he's so unstoppable, but then you see something like this where it's like, yeah, but if you really learn the matchup, he can't do other stuff, because those things are super unsafe. So he has to do the safest things, but the safest things have already been scouted. So it's like, now he's got an uphill battle. And to your point, he didn't make any sort of he didn't make any adjustments to the way he was trying to approach or anything.
He should have started throwing unsafe stuff out.
Exactly.
Just so it looks different.
Yep. And that was a lot of people's thing was like, sometimes being unsafe, like, you have to do it. Like Punk beat Mena, and he was saying that what he figured out is his defense was actually random. It wasn't. He thought it was like, oh, he was predicting stuff, and it was like, no, he was just being random. Mm-hmm. And then when he realized he was being random, he just started punishing him, and all the punishes worked because he wasn't actually, he obviously he's good, but he wasn't as calculated as everybody thought he was, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well, if you get anybody to be as predictable, then there's nothing they can do. They don't change anything. So
yep.
As you can see, we're still pretty excited about Street Fighter 6. It's so fun.
All right, so that's all we're gonna talk about Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, okay. We got other stuff.
Yeah, we got other stuff.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, some good gaming right there.
Yes, sir. I'm so glad it turned out as good as I thought as I hoped it was going to be.
I think that game has far exceeded.
And I'm so glad there's so many folks getting into it now, because I've been into Baldur's Gate. It was the first computer RPG we ever played. So
it was my first computer RPG.
Really?
Yeah. So it's always had like a place.
I played it before Diablo and all those.
Nice.
So.
Well, it came. Pretty sure Baldur's Gate 1 came out before Diablo. Did it?
Yeah, but I didn't start gaming playing on PC until I was like 7th or 8th grade. So like
them games was already out.
99, 2000.
That's about when we got our first computer.
Yeah.
So we were in college.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, so I wasn't there at the ground of PC gaming. Basically what got me into it was 1.6.
The Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike 1.6.
I was cooking people early.
Yep. Our first game was Quake 2.
Quake.
Actually, it was Quake 1, and then we got into Quake 2. Yeah. With our TNT2 graphics card. Ooh, boy.
Playing with some power right there.
Those polygons were sharp.
But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I did get hurt last night. I didn't save.
Oh no!
It'll
F5 is your friend.
And I got into a fight where I don't think it was a fight that you could win ever.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely let you do it. Yeah,
there's a couple of those I've run across. Where either you have to like completely manipulate the system, like go and get extra, like find scrolls that are way above your spell grade, and this fight I don't think, because they kept on spawning portals, and the portals were spawning more enemies. And then the portals would multiply. And I'm like, I don't think I can beat
so
this.
So you got hit by the Avengers Assemble?
Yeah. So I was like, shit, I got to reload. I'm like, oh, shit. It was like 2 hours ago. Oh. So I never play a game again? I alt F4'd.
I guess I'm done.
I was like, I'm done. I'm going to go play Tarkov. And then I got fucked over in Tarkov. So, yeah.
Not a great ending to the week.
Yeah, it was not a good gaming last night.
Wow.
So I ended up sitting there after I got fucked over by Tarkov. I sat there and watched Summit play Halo for the rest of the night.
This makes sense. This is reasonable. All the rest of that stuff didn't.
Oh, someone else get fucked over.
Yeah. Pretty much.
No, in Tarkov, I died before my screen. I could see my person. Yeah.
How?
And it said my raid time was 0000 because I died immediately. Somebody's cheating.
It sounds like somebody's cheating.
Yeah. Come on, man.
And I was like, I'm already down. It's been a really bad wipe so far.
For real?
Yeah, I've been dying a lot. More so than I have been. But it is what it is.
You waiting for Arena.
But no, Baldur's Gate's been great.
And man, I so it's been like the only gaming that I've gotten to do this past couple weeks, and I'm still in the first area. There's so much to do in the first area. Mm-hmm. There's so many quests. There's so many, like, I've had to do fights and be like, okay, I'm gonna come back in this area. I'm gonna come back to this person a little bit later, because right now I feel like I'm close, but I'm not quite where I need to be. Like just the incremental improvement that you see per level is so cool, because in a lot of games, even games that are similar to this, sometimes it feels like you don't really see the improvement per level. Like you gotta get to certain point. Like I know it's not quite the same, but like that type of game, my favorite one has probably been Wasteland 3 over like the past like 5 years. And even that game, sometimes you have to like level up twice to really get to the next phase of improvement. But with this game, it feels like, I mean, I was like these melee characters in the beginning. I'm like they're not bad, but I'm not really feeling like the power from them. And then
once you get like level 5, they can start hitting multiple times.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, no, I get it now. I get why you would, because I'm sitting back here doing magic missile, like level 2 magic missile, and I'm like, that character, that person's dead. You got to swing on them 6, huh? That's not. I mean, it's not bad, but like I killed the person, and you just slapped at him. Really wish you would have did some more damage. But yeah, like you said, get to like level. I mean, I got to level 4, and it was like, oh, wait a minute, no, they're doing a lot of damage, and you get like one piece of equip, like one new sword on like a barbarian or a fighter or something, and it's like, oh no, they're doing a lot more with this. All of the different like ways to approach pretty much every situation is super cool, because it's like the thing I loved about Mass Effect. I know we compared this to like high fantasy Mass Effect. Is Mass Effect would make you feel like situations be handled so many different ways. And it really was like 3, right? It was like the regular Paragon Renegade. But just at the time, it was like, oh, I really haven't felt this control before. Well, this one has got like, you could have stuff from your class that gets you to be able to change stuff, from your race, from your origin. Like, and then they got the what is it, the Ithid? What is it called? Is it the worm?
Oh, shoot, I forgot.
Illid powers?
Whatever it's called,
yeah. But you got those potential options. Then you just got your normal stats, like your intimidation, persuasion, deception, charisma, like all these different ways that you can approach something. If you go up to a beast before you fight it, and you click, you cast speak with animals, all of a sudden they got voice acted lines and stuff.
All
like
the
that.
Animals in the game are voiced. It's amazing.
Yeah, like man, it's just. I mean, my goodness, like if what do you want? What else do you want, Mike? They giving you as many ways to play the game as possible. Like I've literally done a situation where I had to fight, and I'm like, fight wasn't hard, but let me just see if I can talk my way, or like what items are different when you don't fight versus when you fight people. Like that type of stuff, to where a quest can end up giving you something like, oh, that was a cool helmet, but I kind of don't really need that type of thing. Maybe if I talk to him, can I get something different? All of a sudden, you get a locket that gives you some sort of ability. Like, I got speak with undead because I have a locket that lets me do it. So whenever something happens and somebody undead tries to like initiate conversation, I can talk to them instead of just being like, you can't understand the Gretel Ramones, and your only option is to cut their head off. So I don't know. I just think it's fantastic. The only thing I don't appreciate is we getting, and I said it before we started, we getting the Elden Ring treatment by these other devs.
Oh yeah.
And it's wild.
It's
why are you so upset that they made a game that people like?
It's maddening because this is actually like the 3rd time, but like the first big time since Elden Ring. Because I remember when Elden Ring came out.
I got to know what the 3rd one was.
Yeah. Because when you say the 3rd time was
Tears of the Kingdom 2. Not
really.
Not to the same extent, but there are a bunch of folks out there that were just like.
Oh, you're talking about it's the same game type?
Well,
because
first of all, if anybody says that, they obviously hadn't played it.
I mean, you already know what they're gonna do. It's just Breath of the Wild.
No, we're talking about devs complaining about the game, not people complaining about a game.
Well,
it's devs that are,
like I say, it wasn't to the same extent, and it was mostly like certain game reviewers who were just holding the point that this game is basically a glorified GameCube game, therefore it can't be good. And it's like,
you got to get the emulator version.
So what we're talking about,
but
yeah, Baldur's Gate is developers are complaining.
Going after,
because they're like, you're holding us to a higher standard than like.
Yeah, and it's like, and because I remember when it happened in Elden Ring, the big thing was
EA went after them.
Yeah,
well,
EA
it was like,
and Ubisoft.
Yeah, and they were talking about, the UI is trash and all this, that, and the other, and it's like, I guess we don't have to work on good UI because this UI in this game is horrible. And like my answer to that was, well, nobody cares what the UI looks like if the game is good.
And I mean, the UI works for that game,
and it works exactly.
That's like, what do you want? What else do you want on the UI for Elden Ring?
Well, apparently,
first of all, you can't change the scope on your gun while playing the game. Okay. So that's one issue. So we spent a lot of time being able to let you do that, and nobody seems to care. All they care about is the fact that the maps are boring, and Elden Ring's map don't look that cool. I mean, it's big, it's stuff everywhere. There's all these items and stuff, but like it's just cluttered with all this content. It's stupid.
Yeah, who wants all that?
It's the same.
Turns out everybody, huh?
Yeah, like bro, Baldur's Gate is the same concept. You give a team, you let them. They have a vision. They have this thing. They had to pay. First of all, I wish I would have saved it. But they were talking about the standard being too high, saying like nobody has D&D money behind their games like they do. And the dude, one of the lead developers had to come out and be like, "Yo, we know we paid to use the D&D license for this game."
But yeah, they didn't pay us to make this game. Yeah. We paid them.
Yeah, they literally took their little Divinity
Plus,
2 money.
Have y'all met Wizards or Hasbro? They stingy,
bro. Super stingy. They would rather you make a trash game than them have to give you money to make their game.
Yeah.
Like you pay for the license, you got to do what you got to do.
Pay for it, you can do whatever the hell you want. But
yeah, and it's stupid because instead of focusing your energy on making your game better, whatever game you're working on, making it the best version, and also you can't say what's really hamstringing your games because you look at Elden Ring, you look at Baldur's Gate. The things that they don't do are all the things that you guys are trying to implement into every single game.
Exactly.
There's no battle pass.
There's
no plan for paid DLC.
Yeah.
There's none of that. They got a game. They made a game. And
they made a complete game.
Here you go.
And they stuck it out there.
Yeah.
And like those games buck all the trends that everybody's trying to do, and I think that's part of what makes them so angry.
Yeah, but they can't say it because
EA came out with all those years ago and said, "Oh, nobody wants a single player game offline." Blah blah blah. This that and the other. And what are the biggest games of the year so far? Only one player, no multiplayer in sight, no real online integration as far as multiplayer. DLC or nothing like that. Big content rich full games.
Yeah, and like Baldur's Gate 3 has a multiplayer aspect, and you can do it, and it's great from what I've seen.
Yeah, I actually did my first 4-person campaign.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but 2 of them were like bloodthirsty.
They both picked bloodthirsty.
No, like they want to kill. They want to murder everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just for the XP. It's like. But you get XP for
you get way more. Hey, buddy, I'm sorry. Let me go.
Like for one instance, I ran ahead of them, right? And I did the dialogue, and we got like 100 XP. It's like, all right, let's kill them now, so we can get more XP. We got 0 XP for killing them.
Yes,
I'm like because I got the XP out of that situation.
Yeah, there's no more to be gained, bud, and you will always get more.
So
finishing quests.
They killed. So they're killing all the origin characters. Like the Lazov and and all of them because we already have we don't need them. Like what the fuck? I mean, so they kill her. They kill Lazov, the orc chick or whatever her name is.
The Githrak.
Yeah. They all go back. They go into town. I run back and I revive her and I talk to her and send her to camp. Right. So we get to our long rest. They're like, wait. Why the fuck is she here? I'm like, because I revived her ass.
Yeah. I saw what you guys were doing. I preempted you. The game allows me to do that. Just think about that whole scenario. Like, come on, bro. What games are letting you do that?
Yeah. She was mad that we killed her, too.
Of course.
And I talked it out. I'm like, I don't mind them. Head back to camp and we'll talk later.
Hey, look, my friends is tripping, okay? I'm sorry. I didn't want them to do that. They did it. Here's a scroll, we're good.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's funny. But dude, that's what we want to be able to do. We want, like, and every game doesn't have to be this. Because some people were talking about the scary thing about games like that, like Baldur's Gate, more so than Elden Ring, is that publishers are going to see Baldur's Gate and think they can reproduce that. Because you probably can't reproduce Elden Ring because it's so much like original content and like just the scale of how they made it. Mm-hmm. But this turn-based stuff, we can probably figure that out, right?
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Yeah, like that's going to be the other thing is like you're going to see the copycat stuff and it's going to be bad. I mean,
it's going to be bad.
We've already seen them try to copycat Monster Hunter and it not work.
Yeah.
Like just because they're like, oh,
Talking about Wild Hearts?
yeah.
I don't know. I liked Wild Hearts.
I didn't think it was a bad game. I just think that it's hard to get into a space like that. Like Monster Hunter has been around for a long time, and it hasn't always been as big as it was. It had
Especially
to,
not
like,
here.
Yeah, so like it had to like crawl its way to being a big IP.
I don't like Monster Hunter, but I liked Wild Hearts. But I'm not a big fan of those types of games either. So because I'm not playing it anymore.
I don't think nobody's playing it. But yeah, I want people to see stuff like Baldur's Gate and go, oh man, we could make the vision for our game. Like that's what I think that's what people want to see, right? You want to see a company come up with their vision for a game and be able to execute it fully without some of the hamstrings that come with the modern gaming industry right now. And publishers, like, getting the devs to push back on Baldur's Gate is so bad for us as consumers.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like you're getting mad at them for making a good game when you want to be mad at your publishers, but you can't because they pay your bills.
Exactly.
Which I get. You got to do what you got to do, right? You got to keep a roof over your head and all that stuff. But like, refocus your energy.
Right. They should harness that. Like, hey, look at the time and resources they got to make their game, and it's blowing up now. Why don't you give us something like that? And we have potential to do that. Because look at the game that came out last week. What was it, Atlas Fallen?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about that game, and I feel like it's just a waste of money, waste of development time. Nobody's playing it. It didn't get the marketing that it probably needed. We were talking about like the only marketing we saw was at Summer of Games, and you can't do marketing at Summer Games. There's just too much stuff being shown.
It's like 100 games being shown over the course of 3
weeks.
days
or something like that. Like you can't do that as your only marketing.
Yeah, there's so many things that have to go into games being successful. Baldur's Gate, there was a lot of complaining when it did the early access.
Yeah, for 3 years.
Yeah, but they fought through it. Like they stayed the course. Like that's what you have to be able to do if you're trying to really make something good, and it's not going to be.
And they use that early access money to help build it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing more of that.
I mean, we already do see a lot of early access. The problem with some of the early access is eventually it becomes full release, and it's just basically a small patch that comes out. It's nothing like Baldur's Gate between early access and full release are vastly two different games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one's clearly not even a complete game compared to what the full release is.
Yeah.
Where to your point about, I mean, that's the reason why I didn't get the early access version. Like we saw it, we looked at it, and I'm like, I mean, it looked interesting, but the early access stuff, man, is such a dice roll because you could pay, in most cases it's a reduced rate, but sometimes, man, early access would be $60,
mm-hmm.
and it's like we gonna keep doing stuff.
Baldur's Gate's early access?
It was like 40.
Was it?
Yeah, I think the original, like the first.
No, I think it was 60.
I think it was.
Was it
60.
60 when it first came? I thought it was less than when it first came.
Because if it was less than that, I would have bought it because I already knew I was wanting it anyway. But I'm pretty sure it was $50, $60 when I think it was 60.
Understand? Yeah. But and again, if that's the case, then that's even more of a reason to pause.
Yeah, it was 60.
So it's like I can't pull the trigger on a lot of early access stuff. Like imagine what was the game that we kept making fun of Day Before.
Yeah.
Like,
oh gosh,
if it comes out with an early access and it's like and it's anything more than $5 or free, it's like, man, nobody's gonna want to risk that. It's just
not anymore.
Yeah, it's too much of a gamble. So I mean, I think early access it's not going away, and it can.
I have no problem with early access.
No, it could be really really good for.
You just got to make sure you have. The thing is, you have to have not necessarily a roadmap, but a direction of where you're planning on going and a decent timeline that you don't falter from.
Because Baldur's Gate had a little.
Baldur's Gate did take a lot more time than they say they would.
Yeah,
they had a little.
It was supposed to come out in 2020,
but they had the product like what they delivered was above and beyond what they even really told us. Honestly,
yeah, no, it really was. Like,
so I mean, they get some leeway there because they actually delivered a complete package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if your end product is there, it's like when people they say people mess up in sports and they're like, well, I mean, if you're good enough though, we'll make exceptions. So it's like if you want to do this, the early access or even just a game gets delayed. If you release a game that's good, all is forgiven. It's fine. It came out well in the end.
Prime example was a couple month or so ago was Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6. Both of those, their previous games were just not that great. And they come out and deliver what they delivered this time around, and both of them were fantastic games.
Yes. Diablo 4,
it's
on shaky ground now, but still.
Not really. Just people are upset about balance patches, but it's still a great game.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and it dominated Twitch for a whole month.
Easy work too. And whenever they get I won't say figure it out, but whenever they get it back to where the player base is a little more happy with the balancing of it, it's not going anywhere. Not anytime soon. Like, it's going to be there.
It's still way better than 3.
Easily way better. And I mean, and that's all we want, man. We want good games. We don't care about all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
You can have hiccups. You can stumble, but make a good game. Like, and there's still going to be games that come out that are good that have battle passes. We're not even saying that you can't put those things in it.
Yeah, Diablo has battle pass.
And Street Fighter technically has battle pass. Ain't nobody
even though they're terrible, but
they're awful.
But I mean, just say, like, if you want to do that stuff, that's fine. But you still have to have something. The base of it has to be good. What's your core gameplay like? What am I supposed to be doing here? Is this actually fun to me?
It's okay to have a bad battle pass if your game is great.
There you go. And it's also okay just to not put one in there. Just release a game. Like, just release a full version.
Just release a game, exactly.
Yeah. Like, don't look. Like, I know nobody who actually can make any decisions or anything is watching, but I still got to say it. Like, just try, okay? Stop doing this. We'll fix it post production. Like, come on. Like that's the other thing with like Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring and stuff like that is that we didn't have to. Oh my goodness, the game comes out.
Big ass day one patch.
Day one patch.
Like the game is broken.
60 gig day one patches.
Well, you know who else didn't have a huge day one patch was Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I totally forgot about Final Fantasy 16. Like, you can just make games that are really good and people will go and buy them. The PS5 version of Baldur's Gate has got all these pre-orders because of how good the PC is.
Well, yeah. So that's going to work out good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And,
still got to figure out that Microsoft thing, but,
I don't think they're worried.
No,
they got a Juggernaut coming out next month. And there will be a day one patch, but you know what? I'll be okay with it.
Hey, I'm trying to pre-install and get all the pre-patches as quickly as possible because I already know it's gonna be there. Yeah.
And Starfield, I have high hopes for Starfield.
Oh, 100%.
I have such high hopes. I'm probably gonna get let down.
just a little bit.
My hopes were only recently raised, but I think I'm still at a. It still has to impress me level. So I'm.
After that last thing that we like, that big 40-minute thing that we watched last time, that's what okay, I'm actually in now.
Yeah, it convinced me to. I mean, I was always going to give it a shot because I actually like Bethesda games, but
everything we saw prior to that 40-minute video,
it was
like, are they? What
a
are
lot
they?
of presentation and not a lot of there was not a lot of meat to it. It was just like, I mean, look at
they went in depth on their systems and the way the mechanics and the way everything is going to work. I'm like, okay. This reminds me a lot of Mass Effect, but with the Fallout vibe to it.
Yeah.
And them just telling the truth about explorations and stuff like that. Like I'm glad that they weren't just like, no, you go to all these planets and stuff and go explore them. And they're like, nah, look, it's not gonna be you running around a whole empty planet, okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna dock. You're gonna have stuff there. It's gonna be things.
And they said only 15% of the planets actually have population, which makes sense because not every planet is habitable.
Versus being go on these barren planets that's just super hot or super cold. As soon as you get out your ship, it goes emergency temperature. Now you gotta get back in the ship. you scan 3 life forms on the planet and you name it Jube, and then you fly away and hope that the next leap is a leap home. And I like No Man's Sky, but that was you was playing. You played with us a little bit. No, I'm excited for Starfield. I mean, I can't even think about Starfield right now because there's too much other things coming. Got Armored Core and
next week.
Next week, and then Sea of Stars after that, and then Starfield and
Modern Warfare 3, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Bro, I don't care.
I feel a little concerned.
I'm apathetic. I don't really care. Like, I talked to Steven about it, and he was like, I thought we was getting Cold War or Black Ops again, and I'm like, yeah.
The Black Ops, I presume, is next year then?
Yeah, that would be the only thing.
Well, we knew about that a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they said that it wasn't coming out until I said that.
Yeah.
It wasn't coming out until next year.
It's just the like.
I wonder what made them decide
what the big thing is, like, we're midway through August and we just found out that what the Call of Duty is. Like,
it comes out in
like
2
that
months.
makes me super concerned.
Didn't they say there wouldn't be a new one this year?
They've been saying that the last couple of years.
They said that we were going to change the development cycle. We were going to go to 2-year development cycles, and that will give our product much more time. But they was, you know what it was? They were just selling us Modern Warfare 2. It was like Vanguard had such a nasty taste in everybody's mouth. Let's just say everything they want to hear, and then the Modern Warfare 2 sales were incredible, right? Rightfully so. But then the player base, after the Warzone launch, the player base has been on a steady decline, and they've been trying to figure out ways to get people back, and it's not working because don't nobody care. Because you've tried to tell, like, they lost like all sides of gamers for real. So like the
well,
hardcore,
it also doesn't help that a lot of great games will come out this year.
That's true.
There's a lot of other stuff.
We haven't had a year like this in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been a good 17, 18 years since we had a year like this. I think, 2004, 2005?
Yeah.
Was the last time we had a year like this?
Well, I think, too, for Call of Duty specifically, the Warzone side of it, they lost a lot of players because off rip, they took out slide canceling. And all of the streamers have just been making such a poo-poo about it since the game's launch, about not having slide canceling, that it does negatively impact the other people who basically listen to the streamers. Like,
yeah,
it is.
There's unfortunately a lot of people that live and die on what streamers say.
Yep. So you had those people, right? And then the I would say, like, people like me who I played Warzone, not like incredible amounts, but like it was cool. I have no desire to play it. Like, it doesn't feel as fun as the other versions. I haven't liked the map since they got rid of Verdansk and whatever the ones before that one. Like, it just hasn't been fun. So,
I think the Warzone 2 map is great. I'm not a BR person anymore.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
Well, a lot of people turn out to not be BR people because they can't hold on to people like they used to. And then the multiplayer side of it, they've struggled. They've done this thing way harder than they've done any other. Well, I didn't play Vanguard enough, but after Cold War, they stopped letting you just play the game and then decide how you want to play it and what maps you want to play. So you can't vote. And they would do things like, we're going to do Ship House 24/7, which is something they've done before where you could do, those maps consistently. And they're like, well, no, we don't want you doing that anymore because everybody's just playing Shipment and just leveling up weapons and getting camos and stuff. And we don't like y'all doing that. So we're going to take Shipment 24/7 out. And then nobody plays.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, we're going to put Shipment back, but only just for this week because, the servers can't handle all these different map types all the time on these different modes and stuff. There's all these just weird ways of trying
it's
to
not the servers is the reason. You know the reason why they switch out game modes and stuff? It's because if they have like something that everybody loves, that's what everybody plays, and then the queue times for the other game modes are so long and it's a bad experience for those players. So they have to switch stuff out to keep it so there's people evenly distributed between all the game modes. So when they have a game mode that spikes like that, it's a problem. Because it makes it a bad experience for everybody else. Unfortunately, it's just. I mean, there's no way to fix that at all.
Yeah,
that's just the nature of how.
Well,
how this
I don't
works.
like the fact that you can't vote for maps. Like, I would be much easier. I would be much happier playing quick play because that's really where it comes down to is like what modes you have on within that and all of that.
Yeah,
I don't need to go to Shipment 24/7. But I need it to be an option.
Right. You want to be able to not have to play maps like the border crossing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you go into quick play and like every time you load up, it's border crossing. It's like, bro, what are you Why are you trying to force this map on us? We don't want it. We've never wanted it. But I mean, I get trying to do Modern Warfare 3 because of how successful Modern Warfare 2 was. I mean, the teaser trailer was having what was it, Price and the Graves, who's the bad guy in this last campaign. So apparently he not dead.
Yeah, I thought he died.
Yeah, I clearly thought I killed him. So
Did you finish it?
I did. I'm trying to remember the end.
The tank battle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we killed him.
yeah.
Never.
And he says never. What did he say? Like never let your enemies die unseen or something stupid. But it's in his voice, so I'm assuming he's gonna be back. I mean, I'm not excited enough for it to buy it just for the campaign. I'm going to play the campaign at some point, but I don't really know what they're expecting. Like
I don't know. I'm really concerned how late that they announced the game.
Yeah,
that's a big concern.
Yeah.
And usually I'm all for late announcements.
Yeah, because you get the game quickly after.
Yeah, but with something that comes out every year, it's kind of concerning.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. It makes me anyway feel like this one was kind of rushed.
Right, and it wasn't done. We normally get the announcement during the NBA Finals, and the NBA Finals has been done for almost 2 months now.
Yep.
So it makes me believe they're not anywhere close to where they normally are at this point.
And even now with the basically the tease, they didn't show anything.
Nope.
Right. So I'm afraid that we're gonna get half of a game.
I think
the campaign will be great, like they always are, because I have a feeling that's what they focus on, and I feel like all the multiplayer will be kind of just tacked on.
See, I feel the other way, particularly with this last game. I feel like the campaign was kind of tacked on.
You think so?
I mean, you have to load into a completely different version of the game to get to the campaign.
That's
just the way.
That's just them terribly designing.
That was so stupid. It's like, you know how long when I got the game, when I finally got the game to work, how long it took me to figure out how to get to the stupid campaign? It's like, I go in this menu, then all the way down to the bottom, then go into to this, and then the game has to close and open back up, and then I might be in the campaign.
Your game had to close and then back.
Yeah,
mine didn't.
Wait, which version of the game are you playing?
What do you mean?
Like, you playing on Steam or Battle.net?
I'm playing on Battle.net.
Same. That's what I played on.
Yep, that's what happened every time I did it.
I will. And
I know I wasn't the only one because I looked it up online to see if I'm doing something wrong. It's like there's no way this game has to close and open back up to get to the campaign, as if it's opening a different game. And why wasn't the campaign right there? Why wasn't like the older games where it's like campaign and everything else? And I could just hit it there.
Well, I think part of the problem is when they made Warzone free, they basically made it where you have like different games.
Yeah, and that's why I figured, it just defaults open up to what I'm sure most folks are playing anyway.
I don't remember closing and have to reopen to play the campaign.
It does, and like I said, I went online.
I know the UI is god.
I went online to check to make sure I wasn't doing something wrong, and no, everybody was like, "Yeah, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen." Why? It's like if it's a separate game, why not just give me? Because why didn't I just have the option to install one or the other if it's clearly two different things?
You can.
You can. By default, it installs everything, though.
Well, exactly.
No, I mean, but while you're installing, you can hit modify install, and you can exactly choose what you want to install.
Because when I got the game, you remember it wouldn't start. Mm-hmm. And what did I finally figure out how to fix that? I totally forgot now.
I know, because I wanted everybody else to know.
It took me like 3 weeks to get the game to finally start. But either way, I was uninstalling everything, just leaving the campaign in and stuff like that. But I still had to go through all of that to open the game. And it's probably because I have to go into the main thing, which probably defaults over to Warzone first. And when you go, hey, I want to play the campaign, the game's like, oh, you want to play that? Okay, hold on a second, got to unload all of this, and okay, there you go. I always thought that was dumb, but either way,
the one thing with Modern Warfare 3 that they've said is that the rumor is that all your stuff is supposed to transfer between. So, like, all of your skins and everything from Modern Warfare 2.
Did they not transfer from the first Modern Warfare to Modern Warfare 2?
I don't think so.
No, because their excuse was, so
I guess technically...
Warzone was a tether between Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, and Vanguard.
Yeah.
And then...
Modern Warfare 2 kind of introduced Warzone 2.
Yeah.
because they're supposed to be
because we
getting rid
weren't
of the
supposed to get
original.
Warzone 2 till this year,
Mm-hmm.
and they moved that up also.
Yep. And I heard they're getting rid of the. It's only going to be war.
Right, they get rid of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. We'll see.
Good luck.
I guess.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I get it. I know people are going to be upset and complain that they're getting rid of Warzone 1. It's like, well, they're making no money off of it, and it's costing them money to keep those servers up.
yep.
So there's no reason to keep it up.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a business decision.
I'm always surprised at how shocked people are when that stuff goes away, and
It's like
you had to know the moment you signed up for this that this was finite.
yeah, any of those live service games are like that.
It's part of
It costs money to keep those things running, and when it's no longer making money, it makes no sense to keep it open.
Well, they should just bite the bullet. You know, they got enough money. They could just do it forever in perpetuity because I want it. Me and 7 people.
I'm about to say you and the eight other folks that still play it.
Well, and the thing is too is like if you really want that thing to keep going, you can just do it. Like if you're really about it, you can figure out how to do the private server thing. Like it's not the hardest thing ever.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to do that because then you'd be paying money to do stuff like that. And you don't want.
Yeah, because you'd have to pay for those servers.
Yeah, now it's getting real. Anywho, what else we got going on that's actually good?
A couple of game announcement this weekend. Let's go with the one that we don't know as well. It's called Outcast.
A new beginning.
Oh, I just saw this. Yeah. So this was in the THQ thing, and I'm looking at this
THQ
trailer.
Nordic did their
Dark Void?
showcase.
I'm looking at this, and I'm like, is this Outcast?
Was this announced a long time ago?
No. It's an old game. This
Right, it's
this
like
is
a-
this is like a sequel to like an old game.
Gotcha.
Old PC. Did Outcast come out on consoles?
Maybe. I don't remember. I've never seen this before.
But I remember back in the day, Outcast was introduced to me as the sequel to Flashback, which wasn't true at all.
Yeah, flashbacks. That's the I won't say cell shaded, but like the
Ahead of its time graphics game.
yeah.
With the movement it had.
So that's what got me interested in it. And then I played it, and I'm like, this isn't Flashback at all. What is this? It's something different. Now, it's totally fine. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is so weird. What is this? Because it's not like
It reminds
the
me of
original Outcast
Anthem.
at all.
Yes,
It does remind me of
Yes,
Anthem.
it does.
And it makes me scared.
Don't do that. Listen, look, it doesn't seem like it's multiplayer, so that's already let me feel better about it because it breaks games.
Yeah, so it's like in a lot of ways it kind of is.
Got
It's
an
like-
Anthem feel. It's got an Avatar feel too.
Yeah.
Well, not the creatures have an Avatar looking.
Well,
look
just
to
the
them.
whole world.
Yeah. But that guy's
So-
clearly a human or humanoid.
Yeah, he's human. So
He's got the Dark Void backpack though. That's pretty cool.
kind of yeah.
But it's on the front though instead of it's on the front and back.
Yeah, I know if my brother saw it, he would probably say, "It's like, oh, great, another white guy saving the indigenous folks from themselves." But whatever.
I mean, who else gonna save them?
Those look like robots. to
They
me.
definitely look like robots.
But that aside, I was like, the whole time I'm looking at this, like, is this Outcast? Because I had my doubts when it started showing the world and everything. Because it's like this isn't the same world from the first. Oh my God, it is Outcast.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm happy THQ Nordic is still being able to do stuff. They trying.
It's like they just pull that one out of their ass, kind of.
No,
It's like Outcast.
they working on some stuff.
It's like, who asked for a sequel to Outcast? I mean, Outcast is kind of a
didn't ask for it?
cult classic.
Yeah.
But
I'm very interested in whatever that is, so I'm definitely gonna try to keep my eye out for it because.
All right. So one of the big announcements that came out of last weekend from the Nordic, THQ Nordic.
so they actually
showcase.
announced this game last year.
Did
Did
they?
they?
Yeah.
I don't
And
remember
we
that.
haven't heard anything about it until this.
So this is South Park's Snow Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm.
They just announced a new South Park game. We didn't know what it was called or what it was going to be, and we still don't really know. I'm I mean, he's got the outfit from
Stick of Truth.
Yeah. So is it going to be another RPG or we getting more of a?
I mean, the visuals alone make me uncomfortable because I really love the make it look like the show design. But see, look, he's fighting like they look like they're fighting minions, but then it looks like they're fighting other kids.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it going to
it's
be
like
like a
an-
multiplayer?
I have a feeling.
An arena multiplayer
I think this is
game.
just gonna be a like a third sequel.
It's co-op multiplayer.
Yeah.
So-
Think so?
I think so. I think it's gonna have especially if they show Cartman in the same.
Well, they've also done things.
outfit.
They've also done things where he's got that outfit, but then other people have different outfits on, like different versions of themselves. And it very well may be. It's just seeing that visual style. It immediately was like,
I mean, it's more akin to the 64 days.
Exactly. I was just about to say the same thing.
yeah. Which those definitely weren't bad games. So
No.
they really aren't bad South Park games.
No, the last two RPG games were actually really good.
Oh yeah, I got them in my library. I actually went through and beat the Fracture one like 4 months ago. I ran through it again.
The fractured butthole.
Yeah, the Fractured Butthole.
I love it. I saw that name. I was like, "We gotta be kidding."
Yeah, that's my only thing is like this name doesn't have like a play on words at all.
Yeah.
Like the other two did.
Yeah, because the whole joke about the stick of truth is that, like, in reality, it was literally just a stick. There was nothing actually special about it. It was just their imagination.
Well, yeah. That's what you do as kids. We had stick swords and guns when,
Of course.
we were kids. So yeah,
Go in the woods with some sticks.
I mean, both of these
Exactly.
games were about their imagination.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I mean, and there's no. The other thing is that the other two were Ubisoft games, though.
yeah.
And this one is a THQ Nordic.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's- and
Okay,
that's
so
why-
then it probably won't be a
So
direct
it's probably
sequel.
gonna be something different.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Because somebody, it was like,
I forgot they were.
I think during
Ubisoft
Summer
games.
Games, somebody, like, it was like in the comments or something, someone was talking about, I wish y'all do another South Park game. And they were like, yeah, that's not going to be happening. Which is
So yeah,
dumb.
I mean, it could be a completely different. But I mean, he's in the same costume. But yeah, I guess it's gonna be.
I mean, the
completely
costume was
different.
introduced in the
Spells
show
and
too. Like,
Yeah.
So all of the
Yeah.
costumes for both of the games were all introduced in the show prior to being in the game.
different. Right.
And I mean, I would find it very hard to, even if it doesn't have the writing of the other two games, like as long as it's decently fun. Like I said, if it's like the 64 games,
I wonder if it's gonna be kind of like a Diablo type game,
ooh, I'd be on
and
board
that's where
for
the
that.
co-op comes in.
I would definitely be on board for that.
So it's more of like a hack and slash
Shoot, it'd be the closest thing we get into like,
isometric.
yeah,
RPG.
X-Men Legends and Marvel Ultimate Alliance if they do that, because we
Yeah.
definitely ain't getting one of those.
Yeah, one on the Switch.
Yeah, we did, but it
It was okay,
it didn't.
mediocre at best.
Yeah, it didn't quite scratch that itch. Me and Steven went back and tried to play it again. We got slightly further, and we still were like,
Are you having fun?
yeah. Still need to finish X-Men Legends too, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, those games were good.
All right. So the last thing that we're going to talk about from the THQ Nordic is the greatest thing that they've ever announced,
It has
and
the potential.
that's
Has the potential to be up there.
TMNT: The Last Ronin, based off of the highly successful spin-off over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To the point where the Last Ronin is getting another series, right?
Aren't they making
another print series?
Aren't they going to make a film out of it?
Yep. Supposed to be getting the film too.
I forgot to take that book when you brought it up here.
Yeah, you didn't take it, so I took it back home.
Yeah, I know. I thought about it. I was like,
I guess he didn't want to read it.
I meant to ask you about it about three
I was
weeks
gonna say the
ago.
same
Actually,
thing. I was like,
yeah,
I was gonna be like, Zach, let me get that Last Ronin about you.
yeah. I meant to ask you about it because the last time I was here and it was here, I meant to get it and I totally forgot. And then I saw
thought
it
you just
wasn't
said
here and I
fuck you,
forgot
and
to
I'm
ask
like,
you
all
about
right.
it.
I didn't ask you. I mean, when you brought it up, I thought he was gonna get it. So I was
Yeah,
like, well,
I totally forgot to take.
I left it up here for 2 weeks.
I know.
did.
I saw it and I was like, oh, I need to get that, but something else would come up and I would forget. And by the time I thought to get it, it was gone.
You'll bring it back. I'll read it this time, and then I'll let you know. I'll get it to you.
It's really good.
I keep hearing.
I'm really happy with the amount of TMNT content that we're getting in general. So like this is just
Oh, I mean, Nickelodeon is
they not playing.
no.
Oh no.
They like, hey, they finally got the hold of all the stuff they really wanted, and they like, you're about to get some content. You're getting some movies. You're getting games.
Yep.
I need to go see the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I plan on seeing that soon.
My mom actually thought for sure we went and saw it the first day, and we were both just like, I forgot it even came out.
Like I heard the dialogue and stuff is really good. I saw a clip of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm super in, because they just apparently was letting the dudes riff, like the kids riff, and then like some of the stuff actually made it into the movie.
They released a movie on Netflix not too long ago, and it's I'm not sure where it's from or what it's from. Like it reminds me.
Is it the one where they're kind of like different? Like Ralph has the full thing on,
I think so.
kind of
Yeah.
anime-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen some clips from that. I need to watch.
It's
that too.
really good.
You watched it?
Yeah. So the first like 20 to 30 minutes is really cringe, and you know it's like made for little kids.
Yeah.
But then once it gets past that cringe part, it's like it's actually really good. The story's really good. And
I heard that the story and the action was really like
Yeah.
intense, like fast paced and all that.
so
I'm gonna check that
I
out.
definitely recommend it. Just bear with the first like 20 minutes of it.
They also put the TMNT CG movie on there, the one with Cowabunga Carl.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. Oh, they put it on there a while. Oh,
Yeah, because we watched it
that's right.
like 6 months ago.
Yeah. But you guys should go watch it because of Cowabunga Carl, even though he's only in 2 scenes.
Dude, you built that character up so much. And then we watched the movie and he's mentioned once.
No, it's twice. They show him in the suit doing the
Yeah.
parties, and then he puts
And
when everybody
then-
puts their weapons up, he puts the head on the thing. It's like yes.
I'm like, I thought this was gonna be like
no,
Have,
like
like-
a big important part
No,
of the
no,
show.
it's not
no,
important,
not even
no.
really important, but like have at least like 5 minutes of
No,
screen
not
time.
at all,
It
but-
doesn't even have a minute of screen
No.
time.
no. It was just so absurd when I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I love it. And I wonder how. With the combat, I wonder how like they'll do. Like, is there going to be like some sort of upgrade system? Which I'm sure there will be something where you can't just get everything in the beginning. But I wonder like difficulty, because it's supposed to be a really really dark time in the Turtles timeline. Like, what's the difficulty going to be like? How intense? Because from what I've been told about the last Ronin, you know, it's getting deep.
Yeah.
So how much they pull from that and how much they try to keep it.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're gonna do, because in the actual comic, there's a bunch of flashbacks. So I'm curious how they're gonna lay out the game. If you play through the flashbacks, or if they're just cutscenes, or
There's a lot of ways they can do it. And I also hope they take their time. We don't need a bunch of updates. We don't need a bunch of trailers. Just focus on the game, make it good. I wonder what the rating's going to be.
it definitely has to be mature.
Yeah. If they want to capture the essence of it.
Yeah, it'll need to be mature, but I wouldn't put it past them to make it teen.
Yeah, because that's the thing
I
with the
feel
turtle
like it'd be
stuff.
teen because I mean, there's never been a mature rated turtle game.
No,
and
not
I
at
know
No.
that's a different thing, but
I mean, it's still Nickelodeon.
yeah, with
That-
their
that-
name on it,
Yeah, it's like they're gonna.
Oh,
need,
it's gonna be tough. Like I said, it needs to be mature, but it'll probably be teen.
Just-
If you really want to capture the essence of the comic, it needs to be mature. I mean, the first comics were mature.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but everything
Everything
once,
since then.
once the show started, it was like
Yeah,
this is the thing.
Cowabunga. It's like we got to kill the Foot Clan. No, you can beat
No.
them.
You can chop some androids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything started being robots real fast.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, bro? You know you can stab a robot. Nobody cares. Just show some electricity and some cords and stuff.
Some oil coming out the neck, you know.
Yeah. Hey. Nah, too far. Too far.
Wow.
It's too simulated.
It's just oil, though.
Nah, we don't trust it. We don't trust it. Just do some electricity and let Donnie say, according to my calculations, a couple times. And it's gonna be good.
Yeah, but yeah. So apparently y'all heard about it, but that was
We talked about it on this podcast.
I don't.
It was just a
recall
rumor
for
at the
some
time.
reason.
It was a rumor, but as most things that are rumored in the game,
When I was watching the THQ thing live, the whole chat was like, "Wait, what?" So, which is what I was doing too. So, besides the Outcast thing, that was like, okay, because when it first showed up, everybody thought they were talking about Nick All-Star Brawl.
Oh yeah, they did announce Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Yeah.
No, they announced that before.
They announced it like right before Evo.
Yeah, it was before Evo.
Yeah, it was right before Evo. So that everybody thought, they must be showing new characters for that. Which I gotta tell you, the stuff that I've seen for that since that game actually looks really good now. The Nick All-Star Brawl.
I mean, they never looked bad. They just the first one they didn't have voice acting until
this one looks like what the first one should have been. I'll say.
I mean, they have an opportunity to do something with Multiverse on a hiatus, so
yes, yeah, they can kind of slip in there and get some action.
But even then, I think I hate to say it, I feel like all platform fighters are doomed to fail, just because they can't compete with Smash.
Yeah, Nintendo put that game in such a space that it's like there's only room for it.
The only one that's really made like a splash or somewhat of a hold is Brawlhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
and that's free.
That's because it's free, exactly.
Yeah. And they've done everything to keep that game going as far as the collaborations and just the stuff that they've done. And I mean, their community is dedicated enough to keep it afloat, but like, it ain't nowhere near Smash.
Yeah, the collaborations probably have helped it the most.
But it's like, I mean, Smash is the king of collaborations because they got 80 characters in there, and it's just, I mean, you can't really ask for a bigger roster. So like the thing with some of the platform fighters, like even Multiverses, right? Is like your roster is gonna be small compared to Smash Ultimate's base roster.
Well, I mean, their base roster is only 8. You have to unlock all the other motherfuckers. No, and that was atrocious.
We just got to keep doing versus matches. We did it wrong. But I mean, just like the number of characters you could have
I know
in
what
the game.
You mean. I'm just messing.
Yeah. And it's like, so you're already going to come in like as not even as like as a true negative, but like there's something, it's going to be looking at you a little funny. And then you have to make a game that's so good, but still be in the same vein as Smash.
Yeah.
It just seems like such a hard
uphill
task.
battle.
Yeah,
for sure.
Good luck though. I mean, if it's fun and it's good, you'll get something. You'll get some motion in it. But I just look at it and be like, nah.
Yeah, I feel like they abandoned the first one too fast.
Yep. It's like PlayStation All Stars. It's like, yeah, you could potentially do something with this, but are you really gonna give it what it needs to really get there?
They didn't.
No, because I think they overestimated how much folks wanted, or how much nostalgia folks had for PlayStation characters. I guess because some of those characters weren't that old.
No,
so. Like I just played a Uncharted game. I don't really care that Drake's in it.
Well, I mean, I think they overestimated their ability to make a Smash Brothers clone.
Well, they also don't have mascots like Nintendo.
No,
Nobody
right.
does.
They have characters, but they don't have mascots.
Exactly.
They were like,
and the ones that
we made a bunch of games though.
Ones that they tried, they gave up on, and now other companies are doing stuff with them, and they're like,
like Microsoft owns Crash and Spyro now. Has that deal gone through yet?
I mean,
Activision?
I don't know, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2 is topping the Euro charts right now. So
yeah, but not
something's
quite.
happening.
Not quite. They pushed it back to do something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it's still happening as far as I know.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I don't know. PlayStation does weird shit. So Sony's weird company.
They all are weird, but Sony does some.
Sony, yeah. Well,
it's just when you win, you get cocky.
Well, Sony as a company, the only part of that company that makes any money
is a video game.
Yeah, like them as an electronic company is There's a cell phone company is so
They
the
still
only
do cell
part of the company as a
Technically.
whole, the only part of the company that makes any money is the gaming part. So
And Spider-Man,
and Spider-Man.
That's part
But
of gaming, right? Oh, you mean the
just as a whole, like
The-
Spider-Man, just them
I mean,
owning the rights to
The
most versions of
movies, man.
No, they making money.
especially multiverse or whatever.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Into the Spider.
Oh well, yeah. Those have been doing incredibly well. Yeah. So, but
that and
but still, as a whole, it's like that whole part of their business is like,
well, then they also try to see you have Spider-Man movies that are making money, but then you also do an Uncharted movie, so you spend the money on that.
Wait,
which your hair wasn't actually that bad.
that was a Sony movie?
I mean, they own the. Oh wait a minute,
No, they don't. Naughty Dog owns
Don't
that.
they own Naughty Dog though?
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't think they own Naughty Dog.
No, I don't think they do.
I think Naughty Dog is more or less a second party company for them, kind of like Hal and Nintendo. They don't
And the
own
Pokemon
them, but they
company.
really only make
okay,
games
so, yeah,
for
it's
them.
just like Pokemon Company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. Polyphony.
Like you won't ever see Pokemon on Xbox or PlayStation, but technically,
Technically, they
They
can
could.
be. Yeah, they just choose to only work with them because why shake the boat? Although it is kind of weird, they don't just go and make games for other companies.
Well, they
more
just
money.
talked. Gosh, I should have sent it.
I'm sure
sent it.
Nintendo pays a pretty penny to keep that.
They do, yeah. Well,
exclusive.
they've been having
Maybe.
conversations with Nintendo about them about their release schedules for Pokemon, saying that they don't think that they've been given enough time and resources to make the games as good as they need to be. Talking
they're-
about the issue with Violet and Sapphire.
They're
or
saying
Violet and
it's-
Scarlet.
They're trying to say it's Nintendo's fault.
No, they're saying that they were saying that the release schedule stuff was part of the issue with Scarlet and Violet. Like they had to release it at a certain time, and Nintendo doesn't budge on a lot of that stuff.
Really,
Yeah,
the company that'll hold back a game because an eyelash is wrong.
a Nintendo game
What game was that?
What?
that held it back for an eyelash.
Oh, that was just.
Oh, I'm like, I'm not aware of this game.
I'll just say an example.
Yeah, but Nintendo. Yeah, they said Nintendo was very like the release window that they give them for those games. They are very firm on them.
That's funny. You would think they could push back on them. It's like, hey, the game's not done yet. If, we're going to take a couple more months. But I mean, if Nintendo has already kind of put that way, hey, this is our anchor fall game. It kind of
Because you know that the Pokemon it be holding a good 6 months for them,
yeah.
and they really only do like so many big games per year. So, but it was a response to people talking about Baldur's Gate 3, about them having such a long development cycle, and they were saying we could benefit from stuff like that and being able to push back stuff and all of that. So
Well, more companies were willing to pay to release their own games. Kind of the
that
trick.
too, yeah, that too. Yeah, but people, yeah, I mean,
Like it's easier to be free to hold a game back for three years and put more stuff in it on the hopes that it'll turn into a home run. But the way most companies do it is they let somebody else pay for all of that in the hopes that it'll turn into a home run.
I mean, it's the business side of it, man. It's some compromise. So we were talking earlier about like, the publisher side of it, trying to do these things because they're trying to make sure that they make X money off the game and all of that stuff. It's like there's got to be some middle ground. There has to be some compromise on both sides, and a lot of times, I mean, we saw it with Cyberpunk. The publisher not willing to compromise certain aspects, like releasing on certain platforms and doing stuff like that, and saying it has to come out during this time. I mean,
Well, yeah. It's almost more like the shareholders.
yeah,
We're like, get the money now, but it's not done. Get the money now.
true. I mean, I think if they could just explain, like, if they would actually articulate it, because it doesn't always seem like.
I'm in that particular in that case. I'm sure they did tell them. I mean, that's what the story was. They told them, look, this game will not run on these older consoles, and there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. and they didn't care.
Yeah.
It's like, I bought this stock because I wanted, when this game comes out, I'm going to sell this stock because everything's going to be high and I'm going to be out. So get me the money now. I've waited 8 years now. And at the end of the day, that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
I mean, we've seen that happen with so many games.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Sonic 06 is always one that sticks out
Oh, no.
because every once in a while that game looks really fun. But then the rest of it is there. And it's not done and it doesn't work right and you fall through levels. And there's so many things that were bad about it, all because they said you got to release the game now. Has to come out this holiday season. There's no other way around it. Like,
Yeah, that was a bad one.
yeah.
So,
And I also think that, like, the health of certain other types of games, like, we always will be, more of like each of these games are different. They should be treated different. But when you got sports games coming out every year and they're able to make, $1 billion through battle pass like transactions and stuff, it's hard to tell the publishers that they're wrong.
I mean, there's also two sides to that too. So everything we've said so far has been in the developer side, but there's a problem with most artists, and video game is an art.
Mm-hmm.
They're never satisfied with what they make.
well,
Yes.
there's that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
don't want development to go an extra 3 years just because of some nitpicky thing.
For an eyelash.
Yeah.
Right, for an eyelash.
Because they'll hold it back for an eyelash too.
Yeah. Or an extra.
So I mean, there's
7.
two sides of that coin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm more in favor of the developer side, but
No, you got to be.
you have
realistic
to
about
be
it.
you have
But,
to.
yeah. No, I have a lot of artistic friends that do artistic stuff that
They're never happy with. My wife, she's never happy with.
Yeah.
it.
Oh, never.
I'm sure. Yeah.
And the art is amazing. Terrible.
It's terrible.
Shading so off. Give me a little more time, man.
I have friends that if you don't force them to push something out, they will never do it. They will never do it, and it drives me crazy. And so there is definitely that. Some folks need the walls to kind of point them in the right direction, and it's like, hey, you started here, now you're all the way over here. I need you here, so we're just gonna
we're gonna
shove you back this
over.
way
Yeah.
and put a wall this way so you don't go that way, and just
It's-
there you go.
It's the rat in the maze. You're trying to get them to the
Yeah,
cheese.
just trying to get them to that dang cheese, man. And yeah, I mean, I'm 10 years into a game that's being made by a guy who clearly needs walls. So
Yeah, I mean, you could end up with Duke Nukem Forever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where, like, because that's part of the fear with delays for me is that the standard of whatever that game is going to pass it by. Now I said before about the Justice League thing, which we've heard nothing about, right? Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
I mean, it's not out till next year anyway.
Yeah,
So
but like, how much can they change before that release date?
yeah, that's
to where that game isn't old the moment you play it. Not because it's a bad game, just because they waited so long that the industry the standard has been raised. What you expect from that type of game is much more, and they just had something that would have been great in 2020. Not that long a time of difference, but it's still like, if a game feels 3 years old, that's going to be the impression as soon as it drops. And
I think that's going to be the issue of the game, no matter when it finally comes out.
yeah. And I mean, that's part of we talked about Atlas Fall a little bit earlier. It's like the moment you look at that game, you're like, man, if you told me this game said 2019 on it, I'd be like, yeah. There's just there's a fine tightrope that you got to walk in order to get the best out of stuff. But also, every game is not going to be game of the year. I think the expectations for games too has to,
Especially not this year.
whew, hey man,
There's been like
This is
some
gonna be
real
a tough-
talk.
it's-
There's been some real talk. It's like, man, picking game of the year this year is going to be hard.
well, like you got to pick 5 nominees. That alone, somebody's getting left off just off the nominee
you
list.
could pick more, but just even at 5, it's like, oh crap.
like let me ask you this before we get ready to head out. Is Hogwarts Legacy gonna be punished for coming out too early?
I meant to bring that up because I saw.
That came out this year.
Yeah, I saw somebody playing that. I saw somebody playing that on Twitch yesterday.
Yeah,
and I was like, I totally forgot this game even exists. It's just been overshadowed, and any other year this would be up there.
Well, it came out in February. It had a run. It was on. It was on the front page of Twitch for like a whole month.
It was pretty big. Yeah,
like it came and it almost didn't have as nearly as big as the impact Elden Ring had the previous year.
Yeah.
But they both came out around the same time, right? And it was like, oh no, this is a game of the year candidate.
Actually, really good.
Yeah, and it's like. The fans of the series loved it. A bunch of people who weren't necessarily fans of the series enjoyed it. Like it had a nice boom.
Yeah.
And then all this other stuff.
And then everything else started coming out.
like poor Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, that's another one that
like every person I know who's played it was like, nah, it's incredible. One of the best games.
Oh, yeah, it's so much better than the first one.
That's all I've heard. That game was really good. Yeah, so much better than the first one. Like everything you want from a sequel. Just story is great, acting is great, everything great game.
But
then a bunch of other stuff came out. Then Zelda came out.
And then Zelda came out. And
then Diablo came out.
Overshadowed everything that came out at the beginning of the year.
Now we got Baldur's Gate that threw his name in the hat.
Yep.
We still got Starfield.
Still got Spider-Man too. Spider-Man.
You know? I mean, there's stuff. There's still stuff coming.
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo still got Mario Wonder. I don't think it'll be as big as Tears of the Kingdom, but
no.
I mean, it's still a Mario game.
It's still a Mario game.
A Mario game that has.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get in there for, best
Resident Evil 4 came out.
Resident Evil 4 came out.
Resident Evil 4, yeah. That was the one that actually made everybody forget about almost everything else before it.
Yeah.
And then the boulder just kept rolling downhill.
Forspoken came out this year? No, that came out last year.
That was last year. That was last year.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 came out.
Final Fantasy 16.
Crime Boss
Rockay City. Oh my goodness. It's getting DLC, Nolan. Aren't you excited?
Are you serious?
It's getting DLC apparently.
Is it really?
Wow.
It's supposed to be some
Did anybody play that game?
Bro,
I didn't even know it came out when it was out. I turned on the Epic Game Store to get my free games and I saw it then. I was like, wait, it's out? Oh, okay. And then I turned it off.
It's only $40. It came out. It was like a $40 game and yeah, there's
and Liza P come out next month.
Liza P, yeah.
Liza P looks heavy.
Yeah, which again, any other year.
Remnant 2 came out, it actually had a pretty good launch.
Yeah. No, it's been successful. It's been quite successful. Very happy for them.
And then, like we talked about earlier, Immortals of Avium.
Yep, it's coming out.
Comes out next week.
Coming out next week.
Like, dude, there's a lot of.
Next week's gonna be crazy.
Payday 3 comes out this year.
Payday 3, yeah.
Dude, Dead Island 2 came out this year.
Dead Island 2 came out. That's right.
Yeah, I think the more we talk about it, when you said earlier, my brother,
I feel bad because Atlas Fallen. I was watching a little bit earlier because I hadn't. It actually doesn't look bad.
It don't look bad.
But it's overshadowed by all this stuff, and nobody's gonna play it. Like they chose the worst year to come out.
Yeah, there's no space for it. There's nothing you can do. There's like the Baldur's Gate thing.
We're getting a new Assassin's Creed this year that we haven't had a new Assassin's Creed since what 2020?
Yeah, since Valhalla.
God, yeah, sure enough.
Yeah, no, it's just it.
Yeah.
I feel. Hey,
wait, did Atomic Heart come out this year or that last year?
No, I think it did come out at the beginning of this year. It's the beginning of this year.
I think that was this year.
Which that's getting DLC as well.
Is it?
Yep.
And then Octopath Traveler 2 came out.
Oh yeah,
I felt bad for it. I couldn't give it no time, man. I'm sorry. I just
too much stuff.
It's too much. Yeah, it's like Sea of Stars, was it?
Yeah.
That's not getting played.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it. I gotta touch on it.
Yeah, I mean it's on Game Pass, right? So I'll download and probably play it for a good couple days, and then I'll go back to Starfield and.
Well, it comes out
right between Starfield and
Armored Core.
The Armored Core comes out.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Then Sea of Stars comes out the following week.
That's right.
Then Starfield.
And I don't want to start it because I know once Starfield comes out, I'm done. Everything else.
September 6th, right?
Oh, is it that early?
Yeah, it's like the first week of September.
It's like first week of September. Yeah.
I told you, bro.
Yeah.
NBA 2K comes out 2 days after that.
Really?
Oh.
It comes out on the 8th. And I'm going to play that.
Yeah. You gotta get your gear going.
That's something that can be jumped in and out of.
No, because
I usually like
he's trying to get his season
for the last 3 2Ks. I've heavily jumped into all 3 of those.
Okay.
And played through the first season.
Yeah. Well,
because all the cutscenes is done after the first season.
got to split your time, I guess. Because I'm
still playing in Baldur's Gate.
Bro, I'm not. Listen,
see, this is exactly why I haven't bought it yet.
I know I'm not finishing that.
And
game.
I'm playing Armored Core next week.
And then I'm definitely playing Armored Core. So I'm trying to beat Zelda this weekend. I've said
you
that for
still
the last
haven't beat it
3
yet?
weekends. No, I keep doing side stuff, and I just need to because I'm so afraid if I finish it, I won't do any. I won't go back and finish the side stuff
because you're not.
because I won't. Yeah, especially now.
So like more so than normal. Like you know that you're gonna play something else. And
because the last game I did that, I was like, okay, I'm 110 hours in this game. I'm just going to finish it. And then I'll go back and do the stuff that I wanted. And I did not go back to play that game until this year, until March, when I finally went back and played all the
full game,
the expansion pass, Breath of the Wild. And I bought the DLC for it like 2 years ago. And never played it until right before Tears came out.
Yeah, you had to.
So I went back and did that, so I just wouldn't feel like I wasted that money. And I'm afraid I'll do the same thing in Tears of the Kingdom again. So I'm trying to get all the suits and everything, and it's just like I'll just go ahead and finish it because
I'm glad that after Starfield, nothing really comes out except for Mario.
Yeah.
For me, so I'll play the campaign of Call of Duty, but that's like 2 nights.
Yeah, I probably won't even get around to that till next year. So I'm good there.
I don't plan on buying the game, but we're gonna buy it for the store.
That's exactly how I plan on playing the campaign. I'm not giving. I can't.
It might be how I play it.
The only way that Call of Duty can pull me back in and I'll buy my own copy is if Gunfight is there from the start.
Yep.
And it's actually fully realized it like it was in Modern Warfare 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about that. What if Modern Warfare 3 is really just them putting everything in the game that
Modern Warfare 2 didn't have?
Yeah.
It might, and if it is, that's great.
Yeah, they just went ahead and worked on the campaign, but then worked on everything else. That would be cool.
Because that's one of the things that like they didn't get any of the zombie players this year.
Yeah, I mean Modern Warfare never has zombie stuff though. Yeah. That's never been their thing.
No, I mean it isn't. But like it was, it was about that time.
But Modern Warfare 2 not having gunfight from the get-go, and then when they finally implemented it, it was lackluster. From what I can tell now, it's in a good spot. Because it actually has decent maps now.
Originally, it only had 4 maps?
It had 4 maps, and one of them was Shoot House, which is a regular map. There was 2 of them that were regular maps, Shoot House and Shipment. And then I think the 3rd and 4th map were like
pieces of other maps,
pieces of other maps.
Yeah.
So they didn't even have their own. But now they have actually like 8 dedicated maps, I believe. But so, anyways, that's going to be all we got this week. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, and we'll make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube. Finger blast that bell icon so you get notifications of new episodes, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.